Oh, hey! Yeah, today's the day. I'm gonna try to make one good Briggs twin engine out of two busted ones. As you guys know, I got this from Jesse, same guy that sold me that yellow MTD Cup Cadet with the engine that I got started, but then I blew it up. So, I mean, I need four engines. I got four lawn tractors in the backyard with no engines, you know. Two of them I could just scrap for parts and stuff. The other two are probably fixable as long as I have two engines, you know. Anyway, so I don't know if this is going to work, you know why? Because the guy Jesse didn't seem to know too much about engines, right? He only took the back access cover plate off to reveal that one connecting rod was busted. But truthfully though, you'd have to flip it upside down and take the sump cover off and actually take the camshaft off and see if those the sump, the bottom sump, and the top engine block, the holes where the camshaft go into, are not cracked. Because sometimes when you have a catastrophic trauma there to the connecting rod, it hits the camshaft and busts that area. So I got to make sure that the sump cover is good to use and the engine block is good to use, and that there's not a ton of carnage that went throughout the engine block so that it makes that unusable, like the one that I have from the LT1000. So he gave this to me for free, which is very nice of him. I appreciated it. He didn't have time to mess with it. He had no idea how to put this together. So I'm gonna try to, you know, make one good opposed twin engine out of two. I may have to spend some money on a connecting rod and some other smaller parts, but having this one here is going to decrease the price, because the back inspection cover, right? That's like 20 bucks, right? That looks good on this, and I think I have some other parts from in the back too. So I'm just gonna lift this up and take it away. Bring it to my garage. At the very least, these flywheels are worth about 30 bucks. Decent muffler in good condition. Pipes are worth at least 30 bucks. The muffler itself, probably another 20. I mean, believe it or not, this assembly right here, you could sell on eBay for about 40 to 50 bucks. Always money in parts. If you sell on eBay, of course. So here I go. I'm going to put the Jesse engine on its face, or on its top, remove the sump cover, and let's check out the carnage on the inside. But first, I gotta help my mailman Quinn with the packages that he's collecting for me. Can't expect him to carry everything. Some guy bought some LT1000 parts for 30 bucks and an old scooter foot pads. So this ought to be easy. And I say again, ought to be, right? Just from looking over here at the access plate over here. You know what? I'm going to take this off just to show you guys. He showed me once when I was over there, but he put it back. As you know from that one, the access plate connecting rod went right through it, so it's got a huge crack right in the middle. At least I know this access plate looks like right now that it looks to be okay. And while it does have a nick, right, you could tell that the connecting rod went boop right there. How did that sound go again? Boop. And actually the gasket looks good too. So this one's not cracked. I could use this, right? So this was going for about $15–20 for just this cover. You could probably find it for $10. But this is a good panel, so I could use that. Looking at the engine here, you could see that one connecting rod is actually still connected, but it looks loose. There's a lot of, shreds of metal in there, shrouds of metal, bits and pieces of metal in there. No matter what, I'm going to have to take this apart to take a good look at it, you know what I mean? Have to. Good parts. Cylinder heads, magneto, stator, starter. Yep, he did not remove the sump. Maybe he did. It seems kind of loose. Like it seems too easy to get it off, Maybe he did take it off. Gotta remember where I keep these sump bolts. What is holding this on? This one? No. Huh. Looks like the oil slinger is kind of busted. Pieces here. While it's not terrible, it is still busted. The gear here is getting caught. Governor looks okay. And the part where the camshaft goes in is good too, which was busted on this one here. See, this is the other one. Over here there's two cracks right there. This one's good. So this sump looks like I could use. All right, so that's that. I'm going to remove the camshaft now. It's difficult for me to get that out. I'm going to have to rotate it somehow. Now I'm going to remove the remaining connecting rod that's still actually on here, and remove the no, I can't get this out because it's extended. I'm going to remove the crankshaft out of here and inspect everything. I want to take it out anyway because I want to check out the journal to this part here. So this is the good connecting rod, even though it has been hit, you know, has some carnage in it, you know. Ideally you want to replace it also, but I don't know, I'd have to see how much it would cost, you know what I'm saying? But it should hold. I don't know what I did with that other screw here. You know, I have to remember how it goes, you know what I'm saying? I know this just goes one way, but if I took it out, right, and you rotate the piston or something, and maybe the connecting rod would be turned in the wrong direction, you know? And I have to keep a reminder to myself what side this is on. So if you're looking at the machine the way it is right now, this is the top, right? That's the front where the air cleaner's at, right? So this is the right piston. This is the left piston. I have the left piston. So I'm going to need a right piston is what I need. Not a piston, a connecting rod. So there's like a lot of shredded pieces of steel in there anyway. So I'm going to need to... There, now the connecting rod is actually free. I'm trying to push this connecting rod back in again, but it's hard. And I'll have to push it in because I won't be able to get the crankshaft out. I'm questioning whether or not I should take the crankshaft out or not, you know? Because theoretically I could smooth out this journal just the way it is right here, you know? And, oh, you can see it's kind of moving here, but... Still want to push this piston in. It's hard to push this piston in. So you know what? Maybe I'll just keep it this way, like that. But I do have to smooth out this journal over here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove this head over here and take out the bad connecting rod. Check out the condition of that piston. He's taking this off too because this is like butter. Yep, he's definitely taken that out before. Wow. This head gasket's in excellent condition. That's good news. A lot of carbon buildup on it though. But I better remember this. 2B mod 46. This is the right head. Just have to remember right head. I should. It's the only one that's there. Let's test out these valves here. Shouldn't be able to turn these with your fingers no matter what. Seems to be good. So I'm going to pop out that piston right now. Sticking my hand in here, grabbing hold of the busted connecting rod and pushing forward. There we go. I'm out, damn it. There we go. Alright, so when I take it out, piston should be like this. Piston coming out, or it could be like this. Yes, it's like this. Piston should be out like that. So the 2A is pointing upwards when you take it out. Could I screw that up? Well, there's a 2A on the bottom too. There's a smaller 2A, okay? So the smaller 2A is pointed upwards on the right side. That's how I know how to put the piston back in. So obviously this piston needs to be cleaned up, and it doesn't seem to be in bad condition. It's not scored or anything. I mean, not that you could notice, you know. Rings look good. Just got to clean up this carbon a little bit. So there's a big 2A and a little 2A. The little 2A needs to be pointed upwards. That's how it goes in. I hope I remember all this. You know what? I'm just going to stick this right in here until I go and figure out where I'm going to get that piston connecting rod from. Now what am I doing? So I was taking a good closer look at it, and it looks like I might have to take out this other head too, because it doesn't look right. That other connecting rod looks more damaged than it is. Taking a magic marker and I'm writing R on this one, so I know it's the right side head. I'm gonna take this head off too, because it looks like he might have taken that off too, so it's loose anyway. Very loose. Thankfully, this has got a good gasket too. As you can see, this one's also filled with a lot of carbon, but it doesn't look like the valves are bad at all. So this is definitely a doable fix for sure. So just to confirm again, this is the front, this is the top, that's the right, this is the left. Just gonna write left side, just to make sure. I might as well take the piston out. Man, it's really in there. There we go. Now when I remove this, I gotta be very careful again. Especially this gasket, I don't want to ruin it. Okay, when I take this out, I gotta make sure the way I take it out. Okay, so it's out like that. 2A46 is pointed upwards. 2A46. Okay, so there's only a 2A on the bottom, but on the top there's a 2A46. So looks like the big 2A is on the top on this side. So that on this side over here, the right side, the small 2A was pointed up, and over here the big 2A is pointed up. So that way I'll know. Looking at this connecting rod, right, you can see that there's some damage to it, and this won't last. You know what I'm saying? Look at this crack right here. That's a pretty good crack. It's also warped here too and bent. And there's a crack here too. So there's a crack there. There's a good impact over here is what it was. A good impact right here. So I'm gonna buy another connecting rod because this is, while this is probably, it probably could work, there's a chance that it'll fail structurally, you know? I should be thankful though, because I have two good pistons, two good head gaskets, two good heads. Everything seems to be good so far, you know? But let me write something on this one too. This is the left side. I'm gonna write this. I'm gonna write the letter up, just so I know, like that. This side up. Just to remember. Okay, now I'm gonna take the crankshaft out, so it'll be easier for me to smooth out that. Here's the crankshaft. Crankshaft looks good. Even the crankshaft gear is good, and even if it didn't, I have an extra, you know. So here is the journal for obviously the right side connecting rod. Smooth, perfect. This one over here, I mean, it's rough with your hands, not smooth, it's rough up to here, and then it feels really rough, like a big piece is sticking out, you know, and it's consistently rough throughout. But with some muric acid is what I was told. Put some on here, lets it dissolve a little bit, and then you take some fine grade sandpaper or an emery cloth, and you just do that, you know. I've done it before, not with muric acid, but just with the emery cloth, and it seemed to have filed it down pretty well. I might try that first, just to see if I can, you know, get it really smooth, you know. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna go scour the interwebs and find two connecting rods, because it looks like all I need is the connecting rod and a sump gasket for this, because I already have the back inspection panel with a good gasket on it. I'll just pop that back on again. But I definitely do need a gasket for this, okay? 2 connecting rods. Oh, you know what? And I might have to look for an oil slinger too. You know what? I actually have a box of parts in my shed from Opposed Twins. I'm going to go whip that box out. So usually I can never find anything that I buy. I have so much crap that I just forget. I found my old gaskets that I had bought a while back to fix one of these Opposed Twins, but I never used them. This is the rectangular gasket for the back access plate, and looky here what I got. That's right. 271-1888 gasket crankcase, Briggs Stratton, brand new. So I don't need the gasket. All I need is 2 connecting rods, man. And I'm going to go back there and find that box of parts. Hopefully I have an oil slinger in there that'll fit. So before I even went to the back to get the oil slinger, or to find an oil slinger, I looked at the old sump and I took it out. It was just a 5/16 bolt holding it down. And I looked at it, and this is a good oil slinger. Except I couldn't get it out because it was like this, see? It was like that, right? And I couldn't get it out because this part is cracked. Therefore, it pushed it out. So I couldn't get it out. So I used a crowbar and I yanked it out. And this bent a little, you know what I mean? From getting it out, but it did finally come out. But to bang it back, you get a smooth surface like that, right? You just bang it back into shape again, which is what I did. So now it's straight again. And it's good because as long as this is flat, right? Well, actually, maybe it's supposed to be like that, or it should be 90 degrees. I'm not sure. You know what? I'll find out when I put it in here. I have to take the old one out, put this one in. So it looks like I might have a good oil slinger too. So all I need is 2 connecting rods, and I know for sure I don't have 2 connecting rods in my bin of parts. So looks like don't need to go back there after all, and I'll just need to get the 2 connecting rods, and I'll be all right. At least that's what I'm thinking. If I need something else, maybe I'll go back there, but I doubt it. I wanted to show you guys the camshaft off of the second one, off of the Jesse one. So here's the camshaft off the Jesse one, and I was able to yank it out once I took that connecting rod out. Lobes are good. There's no damage to it. This is good too. The journals. The gears look good. There's no nicks or grinds on it. Certainly not like this one. As you see, this one was busted right off of there. Here, this is the way it's supposed to be. Exactly. See? So this one over here busted right there. So I've got a cam. I've got an engine block that seems to be good. I've got a crankshaft that needs to be smoothed out over here on this top journal there. Right? I need 2 connecting rods. But it looks like I've got gaskets. I've got good head gaskets. I've got good heads. I've got good pistons and rings and valves. And I've got a good camshaft. And now I've got a good oil slinger. So I can actually put all this stuff together again. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this in some kind of a waterproof container or something, right? And then take some old gas, put it in the spray bottle, right? And tilt this and spray the insides of that to get all the metal shavings out of there and clean the innards of that engine block, you know. Then I'm going to grind down the carbon off of the sides and stuff. And you know what? I'm gonna see if this oil slinger fits while I took this out, I might as well clean this too with the drenching. So here, look, there's there's a piece of plastic here off of the oil slinger. So we know this oil slinger is Dunsky. See, you can't even turn it anymore because the plastic has been warped. Actually, yeah, over here. This one here, it won't let me turn anymore. Plus, the fins are busted off of it. Here. You look at the comparison between a good one and a bad one. See these fins here? These fins over here are gone from here. Oh, now we can measure I can measure the angle too. Oh, it's the same. Cool. Maybe a little bit off. I don't think that makes much of a difference. So you can see there's a lot of metal pieces still in there, some sludgy gas in there too. Alright, look at that. That's fine, that works great. That screw will go right in there, hold down the oil slinger, and we're good to go. Alright, so that's all I need to do. Clean everything on the inside. Smooth out that journal on the crankshaft, install the oil slinger after I clean this up, put the gaskets on, put everything on, get 2 new connecting rods, attach them on. And it looks like we can build this engine. This was step 1 of making one opposed twin engine from 2 broken ones. Let's hope it works. It's definitely interesting. I'll see you fellas next time on Mowers and Blowers. Hey guys, support my channel, buy a sticker. Also follow me on Instagram at MowersBlowers. Check out my website, mowersblowers.com. See you guys on the next podcast. Have a great day.
Hey Henry, see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.